Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is Da Vinci Jeremy. I'm back in Dubai, right? I was in France for a little while and I went to the Champagne region. I really enjoyed myself. It was a good time. You can check all that action out on Instagram at DaVinciJ15, right? That's where you can find me. I know there's a lot of fakes out there. It's just the DaVinciJ15, just like here on YouTube. So look for that, and you will be able to find me. The same with on TikTok, same with on Twitter. So make sure you look for DaVinciJ15. Still working on being verified on these platforms, but you know how it is, right? Sometimes it's not. They just don't want to make it easy for you to get verified. All right, well. Today we're gonna have an exciting news day. Oh my God, it's been such a while since I did a news rant, and when I've been reading the news, I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to go off, man. I'm going to go off today. It's gonna be so much fun. Yeah, so stick around. It's going to watch the whole thing because man, you're gonna laugh your head off, right? With all my commentaries through this episode. So make sure you do check it out. Okay. Let's get on with it, actually, because it's going to be a long one. So remember, anything that you see to buy here is not financial advice. Please do your own research before putting your hard-earned money into the market. Okay, so let's go on with the news. But before we do, we always talk about the crypto bubbles. You can see, oh, wow. All this, if you're not making money in crypto and you want to you want to be able to make money with your crypto, your Bitcoin that you purchase, and you want to earn more, not dollars, but real money called Bitcoin. This is a way to do it. Look at this. You can increase your wealth significantly by following a simple and free strategy, right, called the little lady strategy, which you could check out free of charge here at davincicodes.net. So go check that out. Also, as a quick reminder, my birthday is coming up, and I'm going to be celebrating it by giving away one whole Bitcoin. And all you have to do is subscribe to this channel, and also just basically head over to the public Telegram group. Also, the links are in the description, so make sure you do that as well. All right, moving on. Lee are one of our traders in the group, right? If you're not part of DaVinciJ15.com, missing out on some serious profits here, you can see Lee has provided an excellent trade on Phantom, and yeah, he continues to provide excellent work in the group. I'm so impressed. I'm glad to have him as part of the team. All right, so let's get on to the news. This is an opinion piece. I want to go over some of the statements that he made. Well, not the statements he makes, but the truth, the true factual points that he starts off with. And I don't agree with what he's saying, but well, let's just start with that because that's important information here, right? He's saying that every dollar the Fed spends on Bitcoin could produce $100 in wealth, blah, blah, yada, 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 whatever. But let's continue. Let's read what he says here, right? Quantitative easing, QE, is a term used to describe when the Federal Reserve buys assets from the private markets. Typically, the Fed purchases long-dated bonds, including Treasury notes, mortgage-backed securities, MBS. But during the pandemic, it has even purchased corporate junk bonds. It does this for a variety of reasons, including, not limited to, lowering the interest rates, liquefying the bank system, and ensuring proper functioning markets, and inducing a wealth effect. Academics and market participants have debated both the merits and effectiveness of QE since the global financial crisis. Whether one believes in the effectiveness of QE or not, the goal is ultimately to support aggregated demand in the economy. Aggregate means stuff. Demand of stuff, which is a fancy way of saying they want Americans to spend more money. there's so much wrong with that. It's like, first off, right? If creating money actually produced wealth, we would not need to work anymore, right? You don't need to work. You just have to print money. But wait, wouldn't that mean that somebody actually have to build something so that we can use the money? Yeah, dude. And so if you print money, and even if somebody does agree to work for that money, that means that, and you got it for free, that means they're your slave. Is that going to work out very well? No. Oh man, it's so ridiculous. And so when they talk about this, knowing interest rates, right, to create the demand and save the banking system, keep proper functioning markets, all that means is that, you see, my friends, right, at the banks, right, they're broke, and I help them out because, they won't be able to afford gas in their private jet. so that's why I'm buying up the bonds, right? Because I need to buy those bonds from them because they're useless because they can't use them. My friends can't use them for saving their money. They want to buy real stuff, so that's why I'm printing more money so they can buy stuff, right, and help our economy. Oh my God. Oh, how ridiculous the whole system is. It's laughable, right, to even think that anyone can believe that this is right. Now, the writer obviously believes this because what I argue here is the Fed purchased Bitcoin. It could be the effective means of boosting aggregate demand and having other benefits as well. Okay, so that assumes aggregate demand is an economy, right? That means when I say aggregate demand again, it means people buying stuff is the economy. No, it's not. It's people making stuff, right? Everybody wants stuff, right? But if you don't make something, if you can't produce it, right? If nobody can produce it, how are you going to get it? Something has to be produced first before we actually be able to buy it. So wealth is the production of goods, right? And not the use of money to buy those goods. I don't know if you got that, but the Fed and most people who have been educated in our current financial system can't understand this simple concept, right? They think, well, the Chinese, they could just keep producing stuff and we could just, print money and sit home. Yeah, dude. Let's see how. We'll go. If that was the case, let's find out how long that's gonna happen before the Chinese go. Yeah, no. Oh my gosh. All right. So another good news that British Post Office ID app to sell Bitcoin vouchers next week. Just another form for people to, get into the Bitcoin world. I don't like the fact that you have to use an ID app, though, because, you shouldn't really have to be have an application to identify yourself. You shouldn't really have to identify yourself all the time like you do in France. With show me your papers. You want to eat here? Show me your papers. Felt like I was in the Third Reich, in the Fourth Reich, actually, in France, right? Wow! Congratulations, Germany! You did it again. you took over all Europe. Oh wow! So yeah, that's why I do not agree with this ID app at all. You are an individual. You should be free to travel and move any parts of this world. like any other animal can do, right? If an animal flies to, it's like a bird flies to another part of the world, right? We don't go, show me your papers before you get in here. like, what is that? What is that? Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous on its face, right? And so, but everybody goes, well, no, it's to protect us. It's to protect us. Okay, right. Let's see how well that's going to work out in the long run. But thank goodness, Bitcoin. With Bitcoin here, right? People with more common sense and logic, right, will be wealthy and then make the changes, right, so that people are more free to move around and not slaves and not told, show me your papers all the time. So that's what the positives of Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin will protect your wealth from the government. Yes, once that does that, right, it also helps close down the government and breaks the government smaller. Why is that? Well, government is a parasite masquerading as your friend. Yeah, let me, friend, I'm gonna help you out. First, I'm gonna break your leg, and then I'm gonna give you a crutch. Right, and I'm going to say, see, without me, you wouldn't be able to walk. And that's what government does, right? It creates a bunch of rules that have unintended consequences, right? And then it has to solve the problem that those rules created. So, yeah, that's effectively breaking your leg and then giving you a crutch and telling you, without me, you couldn't walk. Rulers want us to believe they have our best interest in mind while enriching themselves and their cronies. The simple truth is government exists to maintain themselves. They never shrink, they always get larger. So yeah, with with Bitcoin becoming money, it becomes very difficult, as Sherman once said, for governments to tax. Right? I mean, it becomes right now what they do is if you don't pay your taxes, immediately freeze your bank account, and take whatever money they want. Good luck doing that with Bitcoin. Ain't gonna happen. And so effectively, the ability to tax is extremely diminished. Yeah, that's a good thing. That means they can't grow as large. And the fact that they can't print money to tax you as well is also a good thing, so they can't grow as well. And this means more freedom. All right, speaking about freedom, Ukraine, right? Inside Ukraine, there was a bill, right? Basically clarifying what Bitcoin is and making sure that, because right now, before there was, if you ran a Bitcoin operation or something like that, the police would raid you and try to, to say, hey, you're running a scam, right? But now it's clear that, hey, this is not a fraud. This is an asset that people can own and people could trade and all that good stuff. So that is what's happening in Ukraine, which is good, which is also good. We're always moving in a positive direction with Bitcoin. You know what? Honestly, I feel that this is such a great thing. I remember people making fun of me back in the days when I told them, hey, you know what? Bitcoin is going to be the future, and look where we are right now, right? I want to read this, right? This article is introducing the Chainalysis Global DeFi Adoption Index. It's just basically, right? They're going to be this year. This year we will decide to create a new geographic index ranking countries by DeFi adoption. It's not really important, but I think reading this part to really define what DeFi is and clarify so that you guys once again remember what it is. DeFi's growth has been one of the largest stories in cryptocurrencies over the last 18 months. DeFi stands for decentralized finance and refers to a class of decentralized cryptocurrency platforms that can run autonomously without the support of a central company, group, or person. How is this possible? DeFi platforms, also known as protocols, but are also built on top of smart contracts, enriched blockchains, basically blockchains that have ability to run applications, right? So they're very open to run different applications. Bitcoin can't do that. It's mostly designed for money. It can run a specific application, but it's very, very basic application that you can run on a Bitcoin network. Primarily Ethereum network, and can fulfill specific financial functions determined by the smart contracts, underlying code. Right? So we have an application code that basically runs on Ethereum, and there's no person controlling it. There's no one making changes to it. I mean, if you try to make a change, you have to upgrade and use another version, and people could still use the older version. So yeah, popular types of DeFi protocols include decentralized exchanges and lending platforms. So a decentralized exchange just means it allows you to trade your assets without KYC. KYC means know your customer laws, right? Or anti-money laundering laws like AML. You don't have to provide who you are, your information. Where did you get the money? All that kind of nonsense, just to trade your own assets to another asset, is one of the cool features of DeFi. Another cool feature is the lending, right? Being able to lend money to people and know for sure that it's not going to be stolen from you, or for example, the person is unable to pay it back. You're like, how's that possible? How do you know the guy's going to pay it back? Well, in certain DeFi platforms, lending platforms, they make sure that, hey, you want to borrow this money, like for example, flash loans. You could only use this money, but you have to return it in one transaction. So basically, on Ethereum protocol, you could do multiple transactions, multiple things all at once, but it could be all one transaction returning the money. So you could profit, right, by doing some sort of like complex scheme, right, whether it be legit or not, to earn money in a short term in one transaction and pay back the money, the crypto with an interest, and then you get the rest, the profit. So that's an example of a lending platform. One of many examples of how a lending platform can be used and ensure that you will not lose out on that lending, by lending the money. So cool, so awesome. This is the future of finance. Moving on to a day that will go down in history as the turning point for Bitcoin, right? September 7th, 2021 will forever be etched in history of Bitcoin as the day the first country adopted it as a legal currency. The magical internet money that started in a cryptography mailing list is now recognized by the national state as lawful monetary good, being put in the same national status as a dollar in El Salvador. This blows my mind. I can't believe that we're here, because I remember so vividly people making fun of me and laughing at me and calling it magical internet money, and not believing what it will do in the future. And yeah, I mean, people could not see the potential because they were not software developers. They did not study how money works. They did not study monetary history to help see what I saw, right? This is not going away. This is going to be, we're going to see country after country adopt it as a currency, and this is going to move people out of poverty very fast. And as that happens, right? As El Salvador or other countries become wealthier because of this, it will cause a rolling effect, right? And I can't believe this is happening so fast, because 5 years from now, this rolling wealth effect that happens in El Salvador will cause a snowball effect of other countries going and doing the same, because, hey, we need to get that wealth over here too. and it doesn't matter, right? The people in the government probably won't even know how it works. They just know that, hey, it worked for them, right? I want to be rich too. And that's how we get people in, right? So it's coming to a country near you. Here in this next news, right, Panama, right, is also wants to copy El Salvador. Panama unveils a bill to make Bitcoin legal tender, right? It's coming, right, everywhere, right? And I can't believe how fast it's unrolling out, but that's the way it is, right? It's happening really fast. And remember what I always say at the end of the show, right? And I'm going to say it again, all right? What could be the beginning of a global trend, Panama is exploring a fast flow of El Salvador's official embrace of Bitcoin. The day after El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as legal tender, Panama Congressman Sylvia introduced a bill designed to provide legal, regulatory, and fiscal certainty to the use, holding, and issuance of the digital value and crypto asset of the Republic of Panama. Oof. Oof. Wow. Let's see how that plays out in the next little while. I don't know, man. Is the government in the United States gonna stop letting this happen, man? I don't know. We'll see what happens, right? They're not gonna be too happy. Speaking about not too happy, the SEC wants to regulate Coinbase crypto yield product. Coinbase disagrees. Well, I'm running out of time. I wanted to read all this, but I'm gonna skip it. So basically, you know, they told the SEC, hey, can we do this? Can we do lend thing? No. Give me all your information, and if you try to do this, we're gonna sue you. So they want to provide, you know, lending at 4%, because we talked about DeFi, you know, being a means of people earning wealth using DeFi products, lending, and so Coinbase wants to provide that feature as well, and giving you 4% on your US dollars. Now, the problem with that is that the banks, right? They are not going to like that, because they're giving away a whole 0.03% on your money in the bank account. So what does that mean? Well, if you were to save $100 a month, right, starting now, and over 5 years, you'll have a whopping $4.43 more. Oh, but if you include the mild 3% inflation that they predict. Yeah, it's 5% now, but it's just gonna be like around 3%. You'd lose a whole $800 almost, right? More than $800 in just inflation. But the reality is, if they continue with this 5%, right, which is what they're posting now on the CPI, right, you'd lose, right, more than $1,300. Now, however, the CPI is not really what's going on, right? What you need to not look at what prices are doing. You look at how much money they're printing, and so if you look at how much money they're creating, that's about 25% a year. If they continue that going for the next 5 years, you're going to see your wealth get destroyed majorly. You'll lose like two-thirds of your wealth that you've tried to save over the last little while. And so, that will not be good, right? Because they want to be able to steal your wealth. And if they allow people to, save money and earn more, how can they steal it? That's not right. Oh man. And you know what? This is great. This is great. That's why, Bitcoin's here to stay. I mean, you get to hold an asset that they can't take away from you. They can't inflate. They can't cheat you. Bitcoin's real. Bitcoin's here to stay, and you need to be a part of it.